hope. Waiting for it to connect. It's taking a while. There we go. Looks like it's working. And here comes everyone. So good morning. I'm Judge Person. I'm actually going to keep everybody on mute. The reason that I do that is because if I don't, well, we wind up with so much sound that everybody's canceled out. I was watching as everyone logged in and I made notes of who logged in when. So I am actually keeping a semblance of a line. We have two dockets meeting today, both the general docket, that is with me as the judge, and then also a docket of the pretrial, which are contested cases where folks have pleaded not guilty. And in connection with that docket, the prosecutor is here. The prosecutor for this court is Ryan Matson. Mr. Matson, unmute please and just tell us a moment about yourself to get you planted on the screen for a quick moment.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the prosecutor. I'm Ryan Matson.
Thank you, Mr. Matson. And so if you have pleaded not guilty, you are meeting with him. That's a first step heading toward trial. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment, but I just want you to be aware that Mr. Matson represents the state of Texas. He is not my employee. He works for the state. He represents the party that filed the charge. So he's not your lawyer, okay? And at Class C court, we don't have court-appointed counsel. We do have, an opportunity if your plea has not yet been accepted by the court, which happens a lot of different ways in Class C courts. If your plea has not yet been accepted by the court and you wish to pursue meeting with an attorney before you enter that plea, you do need to tell me about that this morning. Otherwise, you waive that right. And you can waive that right and not realize you waived that right. But I'm letting you know because we're face to face and I want to do the things that I do here. Class C courts move a little bit differently from other types of courts in the state of Texas, but your rights are the same. They just may function a little differently. That's a very big difference the way that one works. And I'll give you a few more of those here in just a moment. I do like to sort of coach everybody like how things move through a court like this one. I'm going to do that, and in connection with that, give you quite a bit of information, and then everybody will have an opportunity, a time for me to work with you regarding your case or cases. I do have to identify who folks are because I have staff actually not directly behind me, but supporting me, making sure I have the right files and so forth. So in connection with that, just a couple of people that I was not able to identify, and I have a phone caller that I'm going to ask to unmute. It's an area code 254 number. The last 3 to 4 numbers ending 970. And I'm asking you to unmute on the phone call. Again, the phone number ending in the last 3 to 4 numbers, 970 something. Can you unmute and tell me your name, please? Hello on the telephone only. Yes. What's your name?
Hello.
Please? Yes. Hi, what's your name?
Randy Fulton.
Mr. Fulton, thank you. I'm Judge Person. The thing that you can't see, and I have Randy Fulton on my docket. Are you?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. You said Greg, but I don't have that name. I have Randy Lewis Fulton.
Yeah, Randy Lewis Fulton.
Okay. What is your date of birth?
11/19/57.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fulton. So I will actually, you're on the pretrial docket today, and your turn will come up very quickly. And I just wanted to remind you, let you know to be listening because I'm going to call your name out again. And the one thing you can't see on the phone is I have probably about, I would say 20-ish people in the meeting today. And so your turn is within that, and just listen carefully because I'll ask you to unmute again for your pretrial. And that'll happen here pretty shortly. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just hang in there with us. But on the phone, people sometimes tend to kind of glaze away and forget to listen, and then they miss their opportunity. So, because they weren't listening. So just turn it up.
Okay.
And try not to tune me out. You'll hear your name at a certain point, and that means I'll be asking you to unmute again. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I did have another person that I was not able to be clear about. Let me see. And sometimes people hear me and they start changing their names, which presents its own problem. Galaxy S8, can you tell me your name?
Courtney Campbell?
Okay, thank you, Miss Campbell.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be able to keep track of you, and I'll change your name on the screen. Sometimes it changes back, and I have no clue why that happens, but anyway, I will make note of it so that I'm not confused.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, so I'll be with you shortly.
Okay.
And then I had a Samsung device, and if you could just tell me your name, ma'am.
Catherine Luna.
Thank you so much, Ms. Luna. I appreciate it. You're on our pre-trial docket and coming up. Let's see. Thank you. And then I had one more. Let's see, let me find it. English, Samantha English. Let's see, are you there? It was labeled Samantha English.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay.
My name has legally been changed to Samantha Gray.
Okay, we wondered if that was you and we weren't sure. And so thank you very much, Ms. Gray. Now I've got you down. Gray. Okay. And we'll talk more about whether we change that on our file, but I will go ahead and change that on the screen for right now so that I don't lose track of you. And so just a few things to let you know before we get started. I just want to let folks know when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you got to try to stay on mute. When you give a plea, you are giving your answer or response to that accusation. So that's what a ticket is. That's how it functions. Okay. And your plea tells us where you're taking your case. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Guilty means I did this. Okay. If you plead guilty, I'm moving you forward into sentencing. I'm going to talk more about sentencing options in just a moment. Not guilty means I'm contesting this. We are presumed to be not guilty unless we change that presumption through a different plea, or at trial it's changed one way or the other at a trial. But pleading not guilty, you're telling me I want a trial, and we're moving that case toward the trial docket, and that can be managed a lot of different ways. But we start with this online pretrial process. And the next step, if the case is unresolved after today, is we come to the city court and we start that process of setting up trials. There's a pretrial here in the building. You'll plan about an hour to be here, maybe less, kind of depends on who gets here and what we're doing for your hearing, but you'll have a time slot where you come in, check in, we meet with you, we schedule trial, we move towards that trial process, okay? If you plead no contest, that really means not contesting it, okay? Sometimes people call that nolo contendere or no contest. If you plead nolo contendere or nolo or no contest, that means that you aren't admitting it, but you're not contesting it either. That's just saying, I don't want a trial. I'm not admitting or denying it. I want to move forward with sentencing. And let me talk to you about sentencing options. I did have a phone caller and they came and went. So I don't know what's happened there, but I'll just keep looking to see what's going on with that. Okay. And so I just quickly wanted to talk for a moment. I saw Savannah Pratt logged in, and let me find you. Yes, ma'am. There you are. If you'll unmute.
Yes, I'm here.
So, yes, good morning, Ms. Pratt. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How about you?
Well, I'm doing fine. And so what I wanted to let you know is that we do look at things that can be dismissed. We search for those, and that search led to the conclusion that your case could be dismissed this morning. And so thank you for logging in. We received, you were in that process of qualifying for that dismissal, and I just signed it before I began the meeting this morning. So we'll
Okay.
email a copy of that dismissal to you. Congratulations. I'm glad you
Thank you.
completed the process, but your case has now been dismissed. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You can log out. You're good to go. Okay. And so that's one less thing, right, folks? And so we're just going to be efficient with time. That's another reason that I do this intro, because I find that if everybody's on the same page, and I front load a lot of the questions that I tend to get, then we can narrow our focus down to things that you might need specifically for your specific situation. Okay, so moving forward with sentencing options, there are, the laws kind of works like this. There's a general rule, and then there's always a bunch of exceptions, right? Because that's how the law works, because that's probably how the mind works, or lawyers work, or you want to debate all those things. But generally speaking, if you plead guilty or no contest, you're found guilty, it goes on your record, you pay the fines and costs. Now, there are exceptions. And in the Class C courts, here's how they work. There are still 4 ways, if you plead guilty or no contest, that I might have available to gain a dismissal, okay? I'm going to tell you what they are. I'm going to tell you how they work in just a quick moment. The other thing I want to talk to you about is fines and costs. So when you call the clerk, or you might have logged on and looked online at your case. If you log in or you call the clerk, you go, how much is this ticket? And they say X dollars, okay? That's a combined thing of fines and costs. Fines are set by the judge, that would be me. Costs are set by the state. I cannot change that. That's your legislature. Okay. So you got the whole number, because most people aren't, they're looking for what's the bottom line. So we give them that information. I'm willing to break it down for you if you want to know that. That's not a problem. It's just that's usually the first question people have, and we start with the first question. So you might have done that. Okay. So here's the thing. I have to look at income in certain situations. So probably the first thing we did was said, here's a plea form. How are you pleading? Here's a financial disclosure form. Please fill it out. Okay. We did that no matter what your plea was, because I'm a big fan of filling out one form to rule them all, instead of the same information 7 different ways in the file for me to dig through and for you to have to write out. No one wants that. Not you, not me. Okay. So even if you pled not guilty, we ask for that information. Why? Because at some point I'm setting a bond on your case and I need to look at it. If you're pleading guilty or no contest, I'm looking at income for sentencing. So that information can be utilized a bunch of different ways. And sometimes people go, well, I'm not guilty, so you don't get to ask that of me. Yes, I do, because I'm the judge of the court and I have to set a bond. So the answer, if you don't want to fill it out, is we're just going to ask for cash to hold your case where we need to hold it. Otherwise, I need the information so I can make an intelligent decision. Your choice. If you're in sentencing, if you pay it right away, I don't need the information. If you need more than a day, I need the information. So we just collect it, because why not go ahead and get the information? It doesn't mean I presumed anything here, okay? But I do look at it in connection with payment plans. I look at it in terms of people's ability to pay. Why? Because I'm the judge of the court. It's my duty to do that, okay? So that's why you were pushed for that information. And sometimes people want to know, it feels like we're in your business. I have to get in that business. Okay. That's the business of a court. Okay. So I probably have it. If I don't, I might need it, and I might need to be asking you to get it to me. Okay. So that is in connection with how are we paying? How are we sentencing? Because in a Class C court, the sentences, fines, and costs get paid. How? The judge has to look at how. Okay? So I'll be looking at that when it's your turn. I'll be troubleshooting some of that with you. Okay? I might have questions. You might have questions. We'll look at those questions at that point. Okay, so that's one question I get a lot of is one, why do you need it? And two, what is going to be what I have to do? Okay. So the other thing is the 4 ways to gain a dismissal. If you've pled guilty or no contest, there are still 4 ways to gain a dismissal. Let me tell you what those are and how they work. I can't apply the law to your case and tell you what you should do or how it will work for you, but I can tell you what is available. Does that make sense? So when it's your turn, if you have questions, ask them. If your questions are questions I get to answer, I will answer them. If they are legal advice, I will tell you, hey, I can't answer that. It's legal advice. You got to contact an attorney for that one. Okay. So don't worry about, is it the right question? Just ask the question and I'll let you know if it's something I can't do, because I'm very clear about that. Okay. It's both an ethics issue and it's a law issue. And the prosecutor is going to work the same way on that. If you ask him questions that are legal advice or give him information or try to get him to give you legal advice, he can't. So it will feel like we're being abrupt when we say, hey, whoa, but we're just making sure that the rights that you have are being followed. Okay. So that's just another, can we get clear that it's like that? Okay. I see someone coming in. They were in earlier and somehow got disconnected. Okay. So the next thing I want to tell you is those 4 dismissal options, and then we're going to move forward with everybody's turn. Okay. So, and one thing in connection with that is I do expect people to be on screen waiting for their turn. And then I'll call your name out and hit you with an unmute request. But on the dismissal options, here are the 4 things I have available to me as a judge to do dismissals. They are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. So compliance dismissals. Those are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. The law has to specify that can happen. And if you have something like that, I'm automatically looking to see, does it qualify? Does it qualify? And, the reason I'm saying that is there's about 12 of them and they all have their little details. And I don't expect you to know that. Okay. And also the law is clear. It says the judge shall, which means I have a duty to look. And so I'm automatically doing that. That said, if you have questions about it, feel free to ask of them. Okay. If you think I'm missing something, it's your case. You're supposed to. Okay. So I will not freak out. Okay. So people go, oh no, I'm afraid to say something. You got to say something. Okay. We'll stay respectful of one another, but still, if you're asking, and I will let you know if it's something I can do, shouldn't do, or not allowed to do. I'll just take it as it is. Enough said about that. The second one is driver safety course options. That's for moving violations. There are certain restrictions to being in that program. Then you have to fully complete that program. Okay. Now, just another word about money. Again, not anyone's favorite subject, but fines and costs in the driving safety course option, you pay the costs, those legislative set pieces. The fines will go on hold. If you complete that program, you get your ticket dismissed and your fines get waived. Okay. The fines the costs are not insubstantial. I will tell you, I'm not super old, and yet I will tell you as well, when I started about 20 years ago, court costs ran about $50. Now they run almost $150. The legislature did that. Okay. In the no taxes, Texas, that's what they did. So just be aware that the court costs are not insubstantial. It will save you money if you pay the court costs, do the driving course on time, the proper course on time, and the proper driving record on time, and turn it in. You get your case dismissed and your fine gets waived. And even though you pay the costs, and the record and the course, and you've got your time commitment on the course. So it's not, there are things to do, but you get a dismissal. The law knows from informed research that you drive a little bit better and your case is not on your record. Okay. So those are all benefits. The fine itself gets waived. The money that we collect for court costs, incidentally, gets sent to the state, not here locally. When you pay court costs, they get paid first, right? The state gets paid first. The money goes to, I'm pointing to Austin, they go to the state, and the fines stay here locally, not to the court, not to the police or fire or code enforcement or animal services, but to streets, roads, sidewalks, etc. So that's a little bit 101 of how government works. But in the driving safety course option, court costs, what we need up front is going to be the court costs, the license, and insurance if you qualify to be in the program. I'm going to automatically look and see if you qualify to be in the program on a plea of guilty or no contest. And once again, ask if you're not clear, because if I'm not offering it, I either miss something, which could happen, or I have looked and you're not qualified. And I don't mind explaining that either. Okay, so you can ask, right? Third option for dismissal is called a deferred disposition. Now listen up, this works very differently than the other two that I've described, but also if you've heard of a deferred and you've been to a class B, A, or felony court, it works differently there than here. So deferred disposition, deferred means to make a delay. Disposition means to finalize. I delay making the case final. I put your plea in place, guilty or no contest. And I put a court order in place. I'm doing this because it's a piece of paper. You will sign it. You will have a copy. It will list what you must do for me to sign a dismissal in your case. Okay. Now, what's it going to say? Well, minimally, we got to sort out the fines and costs. Oh, hey, I need that income information right there. Okay, for example. Another thing that it will definitely say is a deadline. Okay, it's up to 6 months. Okay, it will definitely say that you can't be rearrested because when you're pulled over, you're technically under arrest. You can't get more tickets. You can't get convictions. Okay, it's a good behavior piece. It's not a probation department piece. It's a good behavior piece. No more tickets. Okay, more offenses. And then it will also say, keep your address current, which by the way, you have a duty anyway to do no matter what's happening with your case until it's done. And then there might be a course, a record, a document of some sort. Okay. So that's generally what we're looking at with those. But listen up, and this is the thing that's really different here. In a Class C court, you can ask the judge directly for a deferral. If you go into a higher level court, you must talk to the prosecutor and must have an agreement that you both bring to the judge. We do that here too. So if you're on the pretrial docket and you're looking for a deferred, you may ask the prosecutor if he is opposed to such a thing. He might be, he might not be. I can't commit him to a course of action. Okay. He has his case. He's evaluating his case, just like you're evaluating your case. And, it's available to be asked at that point. Doesn't mean he has to do it. All right. Similarly, if you ask the judge on a plea of guilty or no contest, I'll consider it and let you know if I'm going to do it or not. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that I am going to be hostile. Each and every time I'm asked, I will look at everything and I will tell you yes or no. And generally speaking, I will generally say, here's why yes, or here's why no. Okay. I'm not going to debate the ruling. I will not debate my rulings with you. I don't mind a brief explanation. I'm very transparent that way, but let's not get confused that it's a match. I'm the judge of the court and I will take that role because that's my job. Okay. So deferred disposition, the trick is you must request at the time that you enter a plea. Guilty, no contest, I'd like a deferred. It's that simple, but with an explanation, I think we can see how it works now. Because if you've ever watched it somewhere else, you might think that it must be the prosecutor. It can be. It doesn't have to be. If you're pleading guilty or no contest, I must consider it. Okay. So you didn't rule it out by not getting on the contested docket. If you're here for the first time and I haven't yet accepted your plea in some other way, you can make the request. It was on the form you filled out, but the explanation is too long for that form. It's on the website, but just in case you missed it or did not know what it was, I'm making sure you know. That's the third one. And the final and fourth one, and we're going to move forward now, is teen court. It's very similar to a deferred. The difference there is available to school, high school, middle school, or homeschool, or GED students heading to the high school diploma level. And I'm going to presume you might want it and start pushing it on a plea of guilty or no contest. You can tell me you don't want to do it, but I'm going to assume that you probably would because it's a pretty good deal. And it's the most effective tool I have. And when I look at whether I might see this person again in the future, reoffending or injured, hurt on the roadways, because Texas is, newsflash, the #1 state for killing our young people on the roadway. More people die under 25 and under here in Texas driving than any other state. That has been true for 2 decades now. And your top route, the #1 route is someone who's already had an offense. So I'm going to assume teen court, because teen court is the most effective tool we have. Recidivism without teen court is over 60%. Recidivism with teen court is around the 20% mark. It's a very effective tool. So I want to keep you safe. I'm pretty sure your parents or guardians want to keep you safe. If it's a criminal offense, I'm interested in how that criminal offense will affect your future. Hopefully you're concerned. If you're not, I'm going to try to make you get concerned. And I know your guardian or parent is concerned. So that's the 101. We're going to move on forward, and let me go ahead and start the pretrial docket. Yeah. Okay. And Mr. Beza, you appear to be driving. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see now that you're not. So maybe it's movement, the window, etc. But just a
I
note
have a
for
question.
I get it. Just a note for everyone. No driving. Don't drive in court. Who would have thought we'd ever be saying that? But seriously, it's not lawful to, yes, you can be on a telephone in certain jurisdictions talking, but you can't be on a video screen driving ever.
No, I'm not driving.
I understand, but my comment is to everyone. If I see people doing it, I will tell you, hey, don't do that, and I will disconnect you, and you're welcome to pull over safely, get safe, and call back in. And if you do that safely and quickly enough, you probably won't lose your place in line. Okay, so that's how I'm going to handle that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the pretrial breakout room, and the first person on that one is going to be Randy Fulton. Mr. Fulton, can you unmute? There you
Hello.
are. Yes. So I will move you, and you're actually going to go off into a different space where I can't hear you, because on the pretrial contested docket, I'm not supposed to be part of any discussion of the facts. But you'll be there with the prosecutor, which is Mr. Matson, and y'all can have what is a pretrial discussion. And then from that point, I will need to talk to you again. The phone is not going to let you flip back over to this meeting. So you'll hang up and dial back in. I will know that that's happening. I'll be looking, and I'll pull you back on into this meeting. So don't be worried about how that works, because we know how that works. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here you go. Making that shift. And he went on over, Mr. Matson. Okay. And I am moving forward as well. Give me a moment. I'm going to be talking first to Crystal Thomas, And Ms. Thomas, if you'll unmute and just tell me how you're doing today while I pull your file.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm fine. Give me just a moment. Let me get acquainted with the file. There's a speeding charge with fines and costs of $254. I did receive a no contest plea and a request for a deferred disposition.
Yes, ma'am.
I am inclined to say yes to that request. I had a couple of questions. Give me a moment to narrow my questions down. Okay, if I do the deferral, I would grant the request. The deferral would be 120 days. That means it would end March 21st. I'm not going to require a driving safety course in connection with it. I think we're good there. Just a 4 months, no tickets, no warrants. I do need to find out, what can you pay towards your balance today? What is the maximum you can pay toward that balance?
I can do a $100 payment today.
Okay. That'll leave you with a balance of 154. It's not going to go up or anything. Looking at a calendar, do you see a date when you could pay the balance?
I could pay the balance off before, I would say before the end of the year.
Okay, let's break it into 2 payments.
Okay.
So that's $77 times 2. And just looking at a calendar, are you paid? What day of the week are you paid? Monday, Wednesday? I
I
can't
get paid
remember.
Fridays biweekly.
Okay, is that tomorrow or next week that is next happening?
Next week.
Okay, so 2 weeks from next Friday is the 9th of December. Is it possible to do it then, the first one?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, that's 12/9. It's going to be on your order. And then 2 weeks from that date is Christmas Eve-ish almost, so we're not going to do it there. Or we could do it there. Gosh, can y'all believe it? We're almost to Christmas Eve. The other option would be January 13th. Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am, that would be great.
No later than that date. So
Okay.
the way that your order would read, and I've got somebody on the other end, Mr. Fulton. And so the way that your deferral would read, Ms. Thomas, is $100 today, the second payment by December 9th, the final payment by January 13th, $77 on each of those. Good behavior, driving wise and otherwise, until March 21st, and then your case would be dismissed.
Okay.
Can you accept those terms?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay. So then my next question is, if I email this document to you, can you print it, sign it, and email it back to me this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Then we will send it to you. Probably give us an hour, although she might have it before then. But we're conducting court as well. So
Okay.
look for it in your inbox. If you don't receive it in, say, the next hour to hour and a half, call and ask for Ms. Stotts.
The stocks. Okay, I can do that.
Otherwise, it should just come from our email, and print it, read it, sign it, send it back. I will pre-sign it, assuming you're going to sign it.
Yes,
And that
ma'am.
way your copy will be your copy.
Okay.
It won't change. And once you receive that, it's set up in our system properly. And that means you can either go online and make the $100 payment today, or you can call the clerk and make it over the phone. or you can swing by the court, whatever works best for you.
Okay, I can do that.
All right. So just keep an eye out for it. And with that note, I'll let you leave the meeting. If you have questions, ask them now.
No, ma'am, I do not have any. Thank you very much for your help today.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Drive safely. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And Mr. Mattson, I know that you and Mr. Fulton were speaking, and I did get him back in the meeting. Where are we with regard to this?
Your Honor, Mr. Fulton's ticket will be dismissed for a compliance dismissal.
Okay. Are you sending that over?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. So, Mr. Fulton?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning again. And so that case
Good
is
morning.
yes, thank you. That case is being dismissed by the prosecution. And I just want to ask you, did we get an email from you? Because I can email you a copy or I can mail a copy, whichever works best for you.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have an email for him?
I believe the court has my email address.
Yes, give me,
Mary Davis.
it does take a moment for me to look. Just give me a second to check it.
Okay.
Okay. It's RLF, begins with RLF. Is that the right one?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, we'll email it to you in the course of the morning sometime.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're good to hang up now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Mattson, I'm going to advance you forward, and your next person is Benjamin Cowart. And Mr. Cowart, can you go ahead and unmute?
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to move you over to that meeting with Mr. Mattson as well. And so give me a moment. I'm finding you. There you are. And after that discussion meeting, you'll come back into this meeting. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And that movement was made. He did join that meeting, Mr. Mattson. No. And I am moving forward as well. My next person is Courtney Campbell. And ma'am, if you could unmute and just let me know how you're doing today while I pull up your file and get acquainted with it, okay?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Yes, thank you for asking. I'm well. I just want to.
Ma'am,
Yeah, no, I'm, I just have to stay organized. You have to bear with me.
I couldn't hear you.
Right, I was looking down and talking
Okay,
to
thank
myself,
you.
basically. So,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, yeah, I have, lots going on at
Oh,
once.
sure. Yes,
Okay.
you.
So on your case, so what I'm looking at is some old cases with balances and judgments already entered,
Yes, ma'am.
and some cases that are old, but a plea has not yet been accepted.
Right.
So what I do now at this point is I'm going to walk you through the file with me and sort of make sure of some things, and then we'll go forward. Okay.
Okay.
So I have an expired motor vehicle registration charge. It dates back from December 3rd of 2013. And due
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
due to the passage of time, warrants have been applied to the case, warrant fees. Listen carefully, and then I'll pause and ask you a question. And the reason I want to do it that way is if there's a lot of the system will start canceling me out and you won't hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, so just wait, and then I'll ask you a question, and then it'll go more smoothly, I promise. Okay, so there's a couple of things. Warrants will keep you from getting an ID. Okay, if I can get the warrants lifted today with you, I'm going to do that. The hold on the driver's license is going to be on there until I can get the case to zero out and be done. Okay. And, just my position on this is very consistent for 2 decades now. if it's taken 9 years to get someone to come in and talk to me about their case, I'm not releasing their case until I don't have to talk to them about their case anymore. So I will lift warrants, but the holds are the last thing I release. So I did receive a plea of no contest from you, and I will accept your plea on the expired motor vehicle registration charge, and we'll sort out what we're going to do to lift that warrant today in a moment. And again, once the warrant gets lifted, you should be able to get your ID. Okay. And then the next thing I received was on an inspection sticker charge from 2013. And I received a no contest plea. And is that your plea today?
Ma'am, if I may,
Yes.
what is the citation number on that one?
So that one has the number CVA 1364138-5227. And it is for an expired motor vehicle inspection. And you dropped a form with a plea on it.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Thank you.
And I'm just confirming, is that your plea at this time?
Yes.
Okay. The next one that I received is called failure to maintain financial responsibility. That one already had a plea, and I just want to let you know that we've already entered a plea, and any solution that we work out today will include that one. Then there is another charge with a plea being entered. It's December 3rd of 2013. It is failure to report your change of address. And I did receive a plea. Actually, I received a form without a plea to that charge. How are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
Okay, I'll accept that plea. And then there is what is called a violation of the promise to appear. And everyone take note, when you're given a ticket, you sign that ticket, they give you a court date. Okay. The officer is authorized to issue a court date. We do that so that the officer doesn't have to arrest you. And you sign saying, I know I have a court date. If you miss that court date, a charge can get filed. Technically, a charge could get filed every day you didn't come in, but we don't do that. We do one time, and then we leave it at that date. If you don't appear, it's called a violation of the promise to appear. Sometimes they're also called an FTA, a failure to appear. Long legal explanation for the two different terms that I will not bore you with. But ma'am, we did file that one charge for you. I did receive a form, and I did not receive a plea on that charge. How are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so that one also. Okay, and so that brings us down to, paying fines and costs. And I did receive your income information. Thank you. You also said that you would pay $50 a month. I could do that, but I will tell you two things. One is you're qualified to do community service. Two, $50 a month on a balance of $2,000 plus. That's an impossibly long payment plan. And payment plans that are that long have a tendency to falter. But I actually show that, and this is true for many people right now, especially making ends meet. It's really difficult. I looked at your disclosure of your income information and your debts, and I can change this to community service. If I do that, we would do that instead of payment, okay? And the way that would come down, what that would come down to is 107 hours of community service. We would start with 60 days to complete it. We might need more time. But that 60-day would be a deadline to check in, turn in what you've got. Let me kind of see what you're doing so that I know that it's qualified and working. And then you can tell me how much more time you think you need. And generally, I'm just going to keep working with you till we plug away and get this done. You get this done. I do have a list of places where you can do the community service. It's what I call a starter list because you're in a different community. You're over in Killeen. I don't have a lot over there that I've listed, but any nonprofit organization, as long as they are up to date nonprofit under Texas law, it can be approved. Okay, so you'll have to find that. But most churches, most schools, animal service departments, food banks, all of those kinds of places, generally, you've got to confirm that they're a nonprofit. Then the right person for that entity, someone authorized to sign your hours, has to supervise you. But generally, I'm pretty broad about accepting those hours. And I do have a staff member, if you call and say, hey, will this work? We'll troubleshoot it with you, but you'll have to bring us a proposal. We're not going to find it for you because I just kind of feel like people are adults and we can adult and get it done. But, you should be able to find a place. I get plenty of community service from Killeen. So you want to do community service?
Yes,
It'll
ma'am,
wrap,
please.
it'll wrap things up more quickly. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So again, there's a duty to turn it in by the 17th or turn in what you have and apply for an extension. Okay. And I'm probably going to grant it. I just want to get an eye look at what's going on, make sure we're not hitting any hurdles that we aren't surmounting. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now the next question is, if I can email everything over to you, I will do that. It's a pretty large packet. If you're able to come over and pick it up, that might be easier. There's one document for you to sign. And once I get that signature, I can recall your warrants. By tomorrow, that lift on warrants would be effective and you would be able to get your Texas ID if you otherwise are qualified to get it. But the hold I have on the ID would stop. The hold on the license is there till I get all those hours in and can clear you off my to-do list. Does that make sense, Ms. Campbell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we email it to you or are you going to come by to pick it up?
Come by Temple to pick it up.
Right, the court.
Can I just email it back to you?
Yes. Yeah, I can email it to you. You just have to print it. And there's one form to sign and email back. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
We'll probably email that back to you within the hour or two, sometime this morning. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Not so far.
Okay. All right. Then we've all got our direction. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're good to exit. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Folks, just give me a minute. I need to. Okay. I just kept the forms on here that if you don't scan the others on. A little easier to see what's going on here. Thank you. And let me sign the form. Thank you. And Mr. Matson, I know that you were talking with Mr. Cowart. Can I get an update from you?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cowart has submitted proof of insurance, valid insurance for a year. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that for compliance.
Okay, so I will look for that prosecutor dismissal. I am willing to sign it. Mr. Cowart, once I sign it, we will email it to you. Will that work?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I have to sign it and return it to you.
No, you don't sign that one.
Okay.
The one direction. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
All
you,
right.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cowart. You're
Have
good
a
to
wonderful
go.
weekend.
And you too. Thank you. So thank you. Let's move you forward, Mr. Matson. Your next person is Justin Bartow. Mr. Bartow, can you unmute so that we know that's all working, and then I'll move you over to that meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. And after you have that meeting, you're coming back into this one, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Here we go. Looks like that's working way through. All right. And I am also working forward. And my next person, let me just give me a moment to catch up my list and make sure I've got the right next person. It's Campbell. And then Leobardo Trujillo, if you could unmute and let me know if I said your name right.
Yeah, you said my name right.
Try to get people's names correctly. Okay, and so I did receive your information, and these are September 28th stop. There's a no insurance and a no insurance charge. I received a plea of guilty on the no insurance charge, and I also received a plea of guilty on the no driver's license charge. I'm probably going to be willing to accept and do teen court, but I have some questions before we go that far, okay? So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
first one is, and so first of all, you're 17, which in Texas means you're allowed to appear without a parent. Do you have a parent with you? It's not required.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And just pause for a second, stay right there. Mr. Mattson, are we ready to bring Mr. Bartow back, or did you have a question?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, let me try to make that. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to continue with Mr. Trujillo. Mr. Trujillo, so the next question I have is, do you have a driver's license?
No, ma'am.
Where are you in the process of doing it?
I'm looking for one. They're gonna get it.
Do you know what you need to do to get it? It's not like you just get it.
No.
All right. So that's going to become part of what we're going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I know that you weren't probably insured driving it because you're not driving legally. But was there insurance on the vehicle itself? Do you know?
At that moment, no.
Okay. Is that vehicle now insured?
Yes, ma'am.
Whose car is it?
My stepdad's.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Have you been told that you're eligible to get a license?
No.
Okay. Because there's, there are restrictions, and some of it is school attendance, and you've got to get that form done, the VOE form. And I don't know if you know what I'm even talking about. Do you know that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can someone visit? Okay. I just was talking to the case manager for a quick moment because we want to line up teen court. And for me, I would like teen court to line up with the goal of getting you lawfully driving if possible, and getting you safely driving if possible. And so I want to get the case manager to sit down with you for a few minutes this morning or this afternoon and come up with a plan for me to sign off on. Okay. So first question, with teen court, there's $20 per case. So that's $40. Can you pay those fees today?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what's going to happen is the teen court plan for the dismissal will be something that you work with the case manager. They're going to probably help you understand what you need to do to get a license. Okay. And then, that's going to dovetail very nicely with what I'm going to require for teen court. Okay.
Okay.
So when can you come in today?
Maybe around like 2:30.
Okay. You will come and say, I need to meet with the juvenile case manager.
Okay.
And at the front desk, and that's where you were before when you filled out your forms. And they will propose a plan to me after that conversation. you will have already signed off on that request. And I have almost never rejected one of those. Okay. So
Okay.
that'll become your plan. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But it's going to be short, quick, and sweet. We're not going to be hanging out waiting for a birthday or hanging out waiting for somebody to figure out what they need to be doing. I only have a 60-day window for teen court.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to be rocking and rolling. But the point is, you're already trying to drive. We need you to drive lawfully, because the worst driver out there, the
Yes,
one
ma'am.
that has the most accidents, is the unlicensed young person.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We want to survive you driving, and we want you to survive you driving.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you around 2:30. Okay.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you.
You're good to go for now.
Okay. Have a
All
nice
right.
day.
You too. Great. And moving along. All right, Mr. Matson, goodness. You and Mr. Bartow had a discussion, and hold on, I've managed to mess up my files. Okay, I got it. Where are we? I think we're on the outside storage charge from October 12th. Can I get an update as to where we are?
Yes, Your Honor. This was actually the last ticket that Mr. Bartow had.
Okay.
He was at final pretrial recently.
Yes.
I've actually spoken with the code officer, and he's now in compliance, so that has been requested to be dismissed.
Okay. So you'll send that over and I'll sign it. Is that how we're going to do it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And let me also look real quickly and see where we are on the community service order. When's the due date on that? December 20th. Mr. Bartow, how are you doing on your community service on your other cases?
I still have to do them.
Okay, have you picked a place?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
St. Paul, John.
okay. St. Vincent de Paul?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, great. That's a good one. As long as you get it done and turned in by December 20th, we're good to go, okay? And
Yes,
on this outside storage charge, the prosecutor will send a dismissal to me. I will sign it and we will email it to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right, we're good to go and you have a nice day, okay? Do you have any questions before you go?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Bartow.
Thank you.
You're good to hang up.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Matson, I will move you forward with Catherine Luna. Miss Luna, can you unmute so we know that that's working?
Okay.
Perfect. So, hold on just a moment. I've got a little. Okay. All right. So let me move you over to that meeting with Mr. Matson. And he's already gone over. So here you go. And I too am moving forward. My next person is Eleazar Beza. Mr. Beza, I know you're not driving, but someone was driving and you're not in the meeting anymore. I was going to say, can we pull over? Because there's a tendency for people to get disconnected. The bandwidth just can't keep up with a meeting like this sometimes, but I'll just take him back in if he can log back in. Someone named Todd was brought into the meeting a little while ago. I brought you in, but I honestly I'm not sure if it's Todd Grether or somebody else.
Yes, ma'am, Todd Grether.
Okay. And does your screen work? Are you able to?
No, I got a busted camera.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll manage.
It's me though.
Okay. Well, we'll sort out how we confirm that when it's your turn.
Thank you.
But I now have you logged in. I'm glad you're in the meeting and we'll sort it out as we go.
Yes, ma'am.
So your turn will come, but there's a few people ahead of you.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, ma'am. I'll unmute. I'll mute.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. I like to try to keep up with the paperwork because it helps the clerk if I do. If I stay on my business. So I will move forward. Let's see. My next person is Charles Pearson. Charles Pearson, are you still in the meeting? Oh, goodness. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, it's not great because, you know, if you miss court, you had the warrant, but let me keep moving. Letitia Peoples, can you unmute?
Hello,
Hi, how are you, ma'am?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Okay, so we have a couple of issues. I did receive your information. I know that we had community service. Give me a moment. I just want to relook at this.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, the staff member's not giving you a hard time. They're following what we do for every case, okay? So let me review with you what's happening on our side and let's see if we can figure out how to solve it, okay? Can we?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I received Mount Calvary Church of God in Christ in hours, okay? And the phone number that we have for that church is you know, that's a public number. So I dialed that church, 254-248-1070. On August 23rd at 3:30, there was no answer. On August 29th at 2:00, there was no answer. The telephone number given to us for them was a 216 cell phone number for Deja Ward. That's a personal cell number. I don't, you know, who is that in relation to that church?
You said who is she to the person to the church? She's I think she's like the accountant there.
Okay, because when we spoke to her, so normally if we're not given a business's actual phone number, we're still going to try to call that actual phone number because if it's a business, they should answer their phone because we're trying to verify two things, that they are a nonprofit under state law and that the person who signed off is authorized to sign off for that entity. These are the rules for every case, and they're on my community service rules list, and it's just tracking the law. So
Yes,
I couldn't verify her connection because they're not answering. And when we spoke to her, she said she didn't know anything about these hours. So I just, the two things that I have to verify both, that it's a nonprofit, which I wasn't able to do, but we still kept trying and we couldn't verify the hours or the nonprofit status. So those hours right now, I couldn't accept them. There were 15, and you're right, that's all that you had to do, but I couldn't verify them. So then the other set of hours, these are from TLC East Nursing and Rehab, and you know, you work there. right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the person who signed off there, Portia, is it MacArthur? What's that person's
Yes,
name?
yes, ma'am.
What's her name?
Portia MacArthur.
What does she do there?
She's the activity coordinator.
The what coordinator?
Activity coordinator.
Okay. When you did the work for her or for the entity, was she, is that part of your regular work schedule?
No, ma'am. I went in on my 2 days off and helped her out to work off some of the community service hours, like taking the residents out, as far as playing bingo with them, popping popcorn and doing crossword puzzles and such as that.
Okay. And then, so, okay, I'm pretty sure, but I still have to verify their nonprofit status. But that's why we scheduled you for this meeting. I just am not sure. I wasn't sure if I could accept those hours. And I
Yes,
still
ma'am.
have to verify that she can sign for those hours. But you think that she can?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
had 40 hours once before, like a couple of years ago, and I completed them there. But it was a different activity coordinator. This is a new one that's over on the file. The last one that I had was Miss Linda Evans. But
I
that was like
actually
a couple
remember
of years ago.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to reschedule your due date, okay, for December 1st. And we will see if we can verify.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on just a moment. I'm making notes. Okay, we just needed more information. She's not
Yes,
giving you a
ma'am.
hard, I promise you, she's not giving you a hard time, okay? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think that's good. And for right now, we're good. But if it doesn't check out, I'm gonna have you scheduled to meet with me again so that we can figure out what we're gonna do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's what's going on, okay? Well,
Okay, and I have one more question because my in the midst of that happening, some type of way my license got signed off where they were suspended or so because they said I didn't turn in the community service hours.
no, that wouldn't be how that would work. I think what could happen, I don't know. Let's see. We had originally done a deferred on this case, and then at some point, the deferred didn't complete, and a conviction was entered. And when I report that conviction, if you're already suspended and you get another conviction, and sometimes even just getting a new case, like without a conviction, just getting pulled over, sometimes they will resuspend you. So even if the deferred had gone on through, it probably was still going to trigger, because getting a new case, it tells them that you're out there driving. So if that triggered a suspension, it's not because of the community service. It's because you drove during a suspension already. So the way you're going to have to handle that is to get with DPS and figure out what they need you to do. They might say,
Okay.
they might say that you can't get a driver's license for a period of time because you're just going to be suspended, or they might need you to do something for them. And I don't know, because my Temple Municipal Court is not DPS. I have to report convictions to DPS, but I am not DPS. So the way that you solve that is you get online and you look at what's triggering the problem. If the problem is
ma'am.
they need a document, you get them a document. If the problem is you can't drive until X date, then you either don't drive till X date and you then pay your suspension renewal fees and get with them about what you have to do next, or you get an occupational license. If you need an occupational license, there's some information online available for how to get one. I do have a packet and I do allow you to have the information because I have it all printed up for people. So can we make one of those? So we'll have that at the front desk. Why don't you swing by today and sign for your new court date? And
Yes, ma'am.
We'll give you a packet, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am. That'll be fine.
Okay, so. Let me make some notes. What time will you come by today?
I'll be by. I'll come about 1 o'clock is fine.
Okay. We will see you then, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I folded what I did. I wasn't sure. All right, so Mr. Mattson, let me move you forward. Let's get Miss Luna back over. Because, yeah, it probably is. I'm not as concerned about that part. No, it's not. Okay. All right. Maybe we can find out when. Trigger to them like, Mary, y'all gonna do that because it's a single piece of paper. She's the accountant person, activity coordinator, that lady. Maybe she wants to just get it done. I'll take it retro. But we're set for 12/1. Let's just make sure because sometimes they think they have to do it once and never again, but they actually have to do it every year. It's a nursing home. They are in on. They probably have a federal status, a state one. I don't know. Okay. There's Miss Luna. There's Mr. Mattson. Can we get an update on this matter? Where are we?
We're going to go ahead and set for final pretrial, Your Honor, but I anticipate that this case will be resolved prior to that date.
Okay. Ms. Luna, we're going to schedule that final pretrial. We actually already have. It's scheduled for December 14th at 1 o'clock. And what's actually going to happen is I'll expect you to be here at that time unless the case is no longer pending with the court. So just verify the day of whether or not you need to be here. You can call the clerk and see if you still need to be here. And if it's clear that you don't, then you don't. If it's unclear or it's still pending, come on in and we'll figure out what's going on. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You're good to
Okay.
go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms.
Goodbye.
Lynn. Bye-bye. Mr. Mattson, moving you forward, your next person is going to be, give me a moment to read my own scratch. Iroquois White.
Yes.
Great. Let me move you on over. There we go. Okay, let me just check in and see because normally my docket is longer than this. If I call your name, let me know because I don't think you're here. Eleazar Baez, Kadisha Curtis, Demetrius Henderson. He was here.
I'm here.
There you go. All right. What did I do with this stuff? Hold on. I saw his things earlier. I must have paperclipped him to somebody else. Hang on, Mr. Henderson. I just have to find your file. Oh, here it is. I've got it. Go ahead. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you what's going on with your case. I did sign. Okay. So the prosecutor has filed what is called a nunc pro tunc, which is technically in your case, reversing the case that we had determined was identity theft. And I signed it. The prosecutor signed it. And we're waiting on a signature from the clerk. Let me just look. I did sign that yesterday. I have been out with surgery, but I did sign it. I came back a couple of days ago and I signed it. And I know I already verbally talked to the clerk. I know she will sign it. And once that happens, then I will do the reversal. It does take some time to get all of this kind of thing done. But it's in the works. Okay.
Okay.
So that you have assurance on. And let me see. There are some cases. I can't remember which ones the net protect is in. My memory is some of them went that way and some were a different thing. Like, give me a moment to just review.
Okay.
While we're doing that, Mr. Mattson, I'm bringing your Quavia White back in. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Okay, on the White case, where are we?
Your Honor, at this time, I'm actually going to recommend teen court for this case.
Okay. And Ms. White, are you, what is your plea at this time?
Not guilty.
Okay, I can't do teen court. There's no way to say I want to go get sentenced under teen court, but don't sentence me because I want a trial. I can't mix those two things.
Okay, well, I can do no contest.
Okay. Okay. Were you driving the vehicle at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You do need to understand something, and it's something that I just need to disclose to you. The law is really clear in Texas. If you get behind the wheel and the vehicle isn't insured, it's the driver who is accountable. That's true even if you believed for a really reasonable reason that it was insured. That's true if it's someone else's vehicle. That's true if it's someone else's vehicle and they told you that it was insured. That's even true if you have a card that says it's insured and it turns out it isn't. So I don't know where you fall in that situation, but if you were driving, you're accountable for it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that said, September 9th, 2022, was the vehicle insured with you driving?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so I'll approve teen court. With teen court, there is a single $20 fee, and then we are going to figure out some things to do. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next question is the vehicle now insured?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have proof of insurance you can bring?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, what happened?
On the day of September 9th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got pulled. They had backdated it. The insurance people had backdated it to May.
So if I call and check, they're going to say it was insured?
Yes.
Or they're going to say it wasn't on that date at that time?
The woman at the municipal called and they said that it wasn't.
That it was or was not?
That it was not?
Yeah, it didn't start until the 11th of September, which is a couple of days later. Okay, so it wasn't insured is what we're saying.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we called them. We always check that stuff because those are cases that get really complicated. Hang on a second. Mr. Matson, let me move you forward. And Mr. Henderson, I haven't forgotten about you either. And Ms. White, I'll be right with you as well. Okay, so but let's move Mr. Matson forward with Mark Villegas. Maybe I said that halfway correctly.
Yes, ma'am, you said that right.
Okay. And hopefully there's not going to be a lot of background noise for you.
I'm sorry, there wasn't earlier. I'm at work right now, and
I don't mind you being at work. I really understand, but let's make sure we're where you can hear and we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
hear you. That's equally important. So can you move to maybe just take a few steps out or?
I'm actually on the computer. This is my computer here. I don't have nothing at home I can do this on.
Okay, we'll try. I'll move you over to
I really
that.
am sorry. I knew it said that. I was panicking. I didn't know if I could use my phone or not.
Yeah, we'll try. We're gonna move you on over to the meeting with Mr. Matson. Okay, Ms. White, all of that said, I think the most appropriate thing here is, and just tell me whose insurance is it? Is it yours or your parents or your friend? What's the situation?
It was under my grandmother's name.
And who pays that?
My grandmother.
Okay, and it just got slipped or forgot or something happened.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that she wasn't paying for it anymore. And so it just got slipped, I'm guessing.
I see. Okay. Okay, so you thought it was insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the thing we want to do is just kind of a check-in point. So there's an essay that I'm going to have you write as your teen court. It's a 3-page thing, and then you'll turn it in on time, and I'll dismiss your charge. So can you come by the court to pick up your assignment and sign for it and pay that $20 fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm actually going to just change that. Okay, I'm taking it down a notch to 2-page.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's going to be due in 30 days.
Yes, ma'am. That's
Wait,
fine.
you can turn it in next week if you want to, but no later than 30 days. Okay.
Okay.
And the topic and the guidelines will be for you at the front desk today. When can you be here?
I can be here today around 1.
Okay, we'll have everything up there around 1. Okay, Ms. White.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We'll see you then.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. Okay. And on Mr. Henderson, I'm just trying to sort out because I know I signed, well, I mean, I signed it. I remember signing it, but I'm just trying to remember which one. The insurance, I mean, the license charge. Right. The other 2 cases, no, we were moving forward, I thought. No, the license charge is the one we have. Okay. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, or just call, but either way. Okay, we're just Mr. Henderson. I just really would feel the most comfortable if I just know where that form is and where we are in that process. So hang on, she found it. She's going to go check with the person who has it, and I'll be right back with you. And Mr. Matson, I'm sorry, I should have moved you forward, right? No, Mark Villegas. Okay.
I spoke with him, Your Honor. He's ready to come back over.
Okay, great. All right. Let's get an update on the Villegas case.
Your Honor, Mr. Villegas is going to be placed on deferral.
Okay.
The terms are going to be 120 days with a driver safety course by the 60th day.
Okay.
And he would like to discuss breaking the payment into installments with you.
Okay, I will sort that out with him, then I will approve it. So by that token, No course due, is that right? No, a course due on the 60th day?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll sort that with them and I'll generate that document.
Okay. That
I
sounds
will
good.
move, great. I'll move you forward. However, your next person is Ashley Props. Ms. Props, can you unmute?
Yes, Your Honor. Hello.
Hi. Let me move you forward with Mr. Matson.
Thank you.
Okay. It's our time. On Mr. Villegas, can you unmute Mr. Villegas? Okay,
All right, there we go.
great. I did, the thing is, I got income information with no information. So you said, I get paid biweekly, but you didn't tell me how much you make. You said your spouse gets paid biweekly, but didn't tell me how much they make. And then you just said we own our home and we have 2 kids, and you didn't list any bills. So this is incomplete. So either we fill it out or it's all due. I can't approve an installment agreement without the information.
Okay.
So I can email it back to you if you don't have a copy. And I can wait while you print it out and fill it out and email it back. That's one way to do this.
Okay.
Or I can just ask you all the information in the meeting. And I don't mind doing it that way.
I can do it that way. It's gonna be easier that way.
Okay. All right. It's easier if I ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hang on just a moment. All right, great. Oh, yay. So hold on just a moment. I'm going to be right back with you. I'm going to switch back over. I apologize, Mr. Villegas, but Mr. Henderson was ahead of you. So, okay, Mr. Henderson, I just want to confirm this is on the license charge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the other 2 cases, you took those and you entered a plea. But I don't think let me just see where we are. Sometimes when we have things moving in different directions, it gets a little confusing. And I like right now is the perfect time to confirm that we're going in the right direction on everything.
Okay.
On the juvenile cases, there was a curfew violation. I thought we had a plan. I thought for sure I talked to him about his plan. And I thought I made it. Maybe we'll look at notes. Will it pull 2 things up for you like that? Mine will just cancel me out and have to reboot my entire computer. Yeah, it's just a nightmare. It's the most inefficient, slow system. Sorry, I'm complaining about software.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. There. And then the disruption of school activities. We already have. Okay. All right. And then no, I didn't do it. Did I get anything? Okay, let me set them up and knock them down. Let's move the props case forward. Where are we with that? Mattson.
Your Honor, Ms. Props and I have reached a plea agreement.
Okay,
She will be pleading no contest to the unrestrained child charge.
okay,
I'll be dismissing the charge of turned right too wide.
okay. And then Ms. Props, the question becomes, the unrestrained child charge has fines and costs of $234. Can you pay that fee today?
Your Honor, I was actually going to see if there would be a payment plan available.
I'm sure there is. Okay, on your form, you asked for $25 a month. Is that needed?
Kind of it is right now. I just started working, so my income has increased a little bit since I filled the form out, but I am still kind of catching up.
Okay, can we begin today with the $25 payment?
I can do the $25 payment starting on Thursday.
Okay, that's, I think we're closed.
Okay.
It doesn't mean we can't. What now? Yeah, we're closed Thursday, Friday. If you mean next week. So how about Monday, the 28th, we start?
Sure, that would be great.
Okay, if I email over a payment plan to you, can you sign it? And
Yes.
print it and send it back to, print it, sign it and send it back to us?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Mr. Mattson, are you emailing that form over, that dismissal to us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll look for that. All right. So what we'll do actually, ma'am, is we will, once I receive that dismissal from him today, I'll sign it and then we'll send that over to you with your payment plan information. You'll print it all out and sign that payment plan information and email it back to us and you'll be good to go.
Okay,
And then
thank you.
once you're in that payment plan, if you want to pay it off more quickly, there's no penalty. It's just a minimum due until it's done.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Props. Any questions?
No, Your Honor, that's all.
All right, you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Mattson, I'll move you forward. And your next person is, actually, it's Demetrius Henderson, but I have a resolution with him. So, because we have his next pro temp, and I was just about to talk to him and Mr. Villegas. So those are in the works. So let me move you forward with Samantha Gray. Ms. Gray, I'm moving you on over. Can you, yes, I see you unmuted. I'll move you on over to that meeting with the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let me work with Mr. Henderson and then let me work with Mr. Villegas. Mr. Henderson, I did run that document down. I want you to know, I'm happy to say that even though it is really like moving a mountain, the order's been signed. I signed the final portion of it already. And so now the next step is we've got to reverse all that conviction stuff with the state. Okay.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I'm going to tell you that this is like moving a mountain. And the last time we did one of these was 2 years ago. It's just not a common thing. We know how to do it though, but we also know it takes a long time. And I just beg your patience with that because I know this has been unpleasant. Okay.
Yes.
That said,
Yes,
we have other cases holding your license and so forth. So we're going to get to those next in the conversation. But let me make a note on here. Once we send the correction form to the state, we usually send you a copy. And the reason for that is you wind up needing it as you talk with people. I mean, we will do the correction because that has to come from us. Okay. We'll send you a copy of this and a copy of the correction form.
Okay.
And, you know, it just helps you to have certified copies. Because, you know, you've got a lot of splaining to do
Yes, ma'am.
with different entities, and we send it where we're supposed to, but then you've got other places that you're having to say, no, 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 this changed. So we want to help you with that. Okay. I just want to caution you. I unfortunately, and this has nothing to do with anything about you, but I was out with a full knee replacement. So I've been gone a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I came back after 2 weeks and they told me 8. So I'm feeling really great about that. That
I
doesn't
hope you're
help
feeling
you.
better.
That doesn't help you just a whole lot. But I knew it was out there, and it was the first thing I did. I came back in yesterday and finished it. And so everyone has signed off on it. And now the next layer is the clerk will issue the correction. She's out, but I've got a note for her to just stat first thing to get on it. So in about a week, she'll be back on it.
Mhm.
And then we'll just be getting that over to you. So that's that one. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. The other thing is on your other 2 cases from when you were young, the disruption of school activity and the juvenile curfew violation case.
Uh-huh.
So we do need to try to get those resolved. And you did request a payment plan of $100 a month. I didn't look to see if that was a reality, because that's a lot of money for anybody, frankly, although you have a good job and everything, but that's just still a lot to suddenly be doing. But your balance before anything gets added, and the only things that are going to get added are there's a payment plan fee that gets added for anything that is a balance after 30 days. And I think that one has already been added, a $15 fee to the disruption of school activities, but the curfew violation, that fee has not been added. So I would anticipate that your balance would be $454 once we get that other case pulled off, because that one was 400. So 454. My first question, and it's fine if you need more time, but my first question with anyone is, do you need more than 30 days to make payment?
Yeah, I need I would need more than 30 days just in case. But if I could, Judge, I'll try to pay it. I'll try to pay majority of the balance as soon as I can.
Okay, so I have to put a real firm thing in place because I don't have an order that says when they get to it. So what I would say is, let's do half now, half in 60 days. Would that work for you?
That'll work.
Okay. So 30 days from today. Can you pay anything today?
I can't pay anything today, but like I probably I'm not gonna say probably.
That's fine.
Almost positive I could pay the first half of it on Wednesday, the 30th of November.
Okay, that's all fine. Here's what I'm going to put in place, and I would send it to you and you sign it.
Okay.
If you agree, half of it by December 20th, and the balance by January 17th. And
Yeah,
then
that
you
works.
can always pay earlier. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We'll email that to you, and you can print it and sign it. Okay.
Okay.
And then if you pay early, there's no penalty. It's just getting it done. Okay.
Right. I got you.
Because those do have a hold on license or license renewal as well.
Okay.
So that once we release it, it does take a little bit of time to like funnel all through those systems as well. So I kind of held because I wanted to see what we were peeling off, but it's all kind of going to trickle around the same timetables, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. So I will email that to you. as well as the correction form and the non-protunct forms so that you have them for your records, okay?
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Yeah, like when I do make a payment, because I live in Chicago, I was just gonna ask. I'll just make a call. Okay.
Call the clerk, and that when you're ready to make any kind of payment, they can walk you through it.
Process it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson.
All right.
You're good to go.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Matson, you're moving fast. This Gray's case. Okay, where are we?
Your Honor, Ms. Gray was going to be placed on deferral.
Okay. Great.
That will be a 120-day period with a driver safety course by the 60th day. And I believe she would like to speak with you about setting up paying in installments.
Okay, I've got one ahead of her, but I'm glad to work with her on it. No problem. But I'll generate that document.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Gray, I'm going to work with Mr. Villegas first, and then I will work with you. Give me a moment. Mr. Matson, let me move you forward. Your next person is Todd Grether. Mr. Grether,
Yes, ma'am.
let me move you over.
Hold on, let me get somewhere else. I'm tearing my pool decking out. Very loud.
What do you think you're doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sorry, but we just had workers show up and they're tearing. Hold on a second, ma'am.
Okay.
Trying to find out where I put you.
Right.
There you are. See you. Okay. There we go. Let me go in the other living room. Hold on.
I'm going to move him on over, Mr. Matson.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Villegas, let me walk you through what we're doing. What I need to figure it out too. Okay. So where are you, Mr. Villegas?
I'm right here, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Other right. Do you swear?
What, this is right.
Your right hand.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
You swear or affirm that the information you're providing is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you receive a paycheck, what is your take-home pay?
My take-home pay, it's biweekly, is around 1,300.
Okay. And what day of the week are y'all paid?
We were paid today, actually.
Okay, every other Thursday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then do you have things like insurance comes out, retirement plan, all that kind of stuff?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then your spouse, what is their take-home pay? RDI?
I think she takes home around 800 biweekly.
Okay, what day of the week?
Did today as well.
Every other Thursday. Okay. Let me just start there. Give me a second.
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone in the home disabled?
No, ma'am.
And then do you have a mortgage payment that you make each month?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that amount?
400.
And do you have, what's your monthly guesstimation?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Your estimation for a monthly electric bill?
Electric bill, $200.
Water?
200.
Phones?
Phone is 100.
For everyone?
That's just for me. My wife, she's on with her grandmother.
Okay. Are you in a payment plan for any kind of medical expense that's a monthly payment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did they take your insurance, coverage payment out of your paycheck?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about car insurance, homeowners insurance? What is that payment?
I want to say that's around 120.
For the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then is there a mortgage insurance or is that already in the other payment?
I'm sorry, you said mortgage.
Sometimes people have mortgage insurance and it's in their mortgage payment.
Oh, no. We pay that separately, and that's, I want to say that's around $80 a month.
Okay. And then you have childcare expenses?
It varies.
I mean, do they go to childcare or did they go
Oh,
to?
okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking there. No, ma'am. We don't have any.
Okay. And then cable, internet,
Internet's 90.
car payments?
600 total for both.
Okay. What kind of cars?
I have a Chevy Silverado truck and a Nissan Pathfinder.
Okay. And all right. And then what do you think y'all spend a month for gas?
Probably around like 250.
Okay. Y'all are economizing for sure. I mean, good job. Frankly, most people are not that put together. They don't even know a lot of times. What do you think you spend per month on food?
Probably around 200.
Oh no. You definitely spend more than that.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. My wife's usually the one that does the grocery shopping.
Okay. I'm just gonna put in 600.
But that's probably more correct.
Okay, well, I'm showing we can definitely do a payment plan, or a pay installment. Can you pay anything towards your balance today? The balance being 259.
Yes, ma'am. I can pay 100 today.
Okay. Okay, that'll leave you with a balance of 159. And if I divide that, it's going to be like $80. And then $79 if we do 3 payments. 2 weeks from today, on a day that we're open, is December 1st. Can we do $80?
Yes, ma'am.
And 30 days from today is December 20th. Can we do the final payment then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's what your deferred paperwork will say. So it'll be a deferral. 120 days from today is when I look to sign the dismissal. 3/21/23. Driving safety course due January 17th. We'll email you paperwork for how to find a class. And then your payments will be $100 today, $80 no later than December 1st, $79 no later than December 20th.
Already
Do
sounds.
you, do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the next thing is I'll prepare that. I'll email it to you, print it, sign it, and email it back. Or you can swing by the court. We can do that here. But I need to do that today. So when can you come in? It won't take long. You can come on a lunch break.
I don't know if I can come by today because I'm actually on lunch right now. I've been taking my lunch to be on this call.
Well, normally I don't make exceptions. Excuse me, my mouth is very dry.
Yes, ma'am.
tomorrow morning, can you be here at 8 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Hey, these test balls.
We'll have everything at the front desk for you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds good.
Okay. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Apologies, folks. I'm doing on the camera. Mr. B, I guess you are good to exit.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gray, let's get you sorted out. Are you able to unmute? I know you're holding the baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I haven't even looked at your income information, but are you able to pay anything today?
Yes, ma'am. I can do 100 today.
Okay. And similarly, then it turns into $80 and $79.
Yes, ma'am.
2 weeks from today is the 1st of December. Can you make an $80 payment at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then 30 days from today, $79. That's the 20th of December. Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
How old's your baby?
He's 3 months.
Great.
Yeah.
So again, I just need to get a signature. If I email it, can you sorry, if I email it, can you print it and sign it and email it back today?
So is it possible that I can sign it like through like a PDF file? My signature is already uploaded on my PDF filler. Can I just sign it that way?
I don't take e-signatures unless they are your legal signature.
Okay.
So that's what I'm needing. Is that a thing you can make happen?
Yes. Yes. It has my legal signature on my PDF filler.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Some people have that all dealt with. Hey, by the way. Sorry, we have the wrong picture on you.
Oh.
It's a white dude. So I'm like, man, that's not her. But I just want to make sure they correct that because I know you had a name change and I just don't want your file to be a mess. And it's pretty unusual that we have errors, but when we have them, we like to fix them.
Yes.
Can you email back with that a copy of your license?
Yes. And also, there was something really weird going on with my email when I went there. They couldn't send me the document. They tried like 20 times. So I had to use the printout version to log on today for the link. So I'm not sure. I gave them several different emails and it wasn't working out. I didn't receive any emails from them.
Okay. Let's see. Let me look you up. So we've tried, so there's a problem. Sometimes your filter's not letting it in.
Okay.
Yes. And you know, her name changed from that right, Ms. Gray?
I'm sorry, you went out for a minute.
Yeah, I was talking too low. It's not your problem, it's mine. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, your name has changed to English or it
No, my name is changed to Gray. Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay. We have the right name. I have SAMAR. Is it RI or RA?
I'm sorry, you're
SAMAN THAEN GLISH1913 @gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am. It's Samantha English 1913 @gmail.com.
Okay. Well, that's going to be the email I use to send this document.
Yes.
And we'll probably send it this morning. So if you don't receive it, you need to call.
Okay.
And then once you have the document, once we email it to you, that's when it's safe to make that $100 payment.
Got it. Okay. And so then I call to make the payment.
You can call to make the payment, or you can go online to our website.
Okay.
Whichever works best.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll just work.
I hope
so.
so. Thank you.
Me too. It sounds like a real pain.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Breather back. Okay, so Mr. Mattson, let's get an update on the Todd Greether case.
Your Honor, Mr. Grether is going to be accepting deferral.
Okay.
And the terms of that deferral are going to be the standard offer that I've previously discussed, 120 days, driver safety course by the 60th day. And I believe Mr. Grether said he can make payment in full within the first 30 days, but I want to confirm that with him.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
Okay, Mr. Grether, I apologize for getting your name wrong.
Right.
Okay, we'll email that to him, Mr. Mattson. If you don't mind, I'll just generate that over here.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Grether, if I email that to you, can you print it, sign it, and email it back?
I can. I'll probably have to do it this weekend. I've got no printer.
Oh,
here
no,
at the
I've got to
house.
get a document today. It's
You have that
court day.
today? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll just have to go to Kinko's or something then.
Great. Okay, we'll email that to you throughout the course of the morning, before the morning goes out.
You have to have
Probably
that when today?
Yes, today's your court date.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll send it and then we'll get it back by close of business today, okay?
Sounds great.
Okay, and then you'll be good to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You have a nice day.
Too.
Take care. Bye. Thanks, Mattson.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, have a nice day.
All right. All right, and so Mr. Mattson, moving you forward, Delvin Gims is next. And Mr. Gims, can you unmute? Thank you. All right, let me move you on over to that meeting. Also going to move forward because I thought I saw somebody that I needed to visit. Let me hold on a second. Let me check. Gabrielle Stewart.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Gabrielle Stewart, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. We had a payment plan. And these are old cases. And are you still working at Ross?
Yes, ma'am. But I just started another job as well
Okay, where are you working?
at Walmart.
Okay, do you know what you'll be making there, or is it too soon to tell?
I'm not sure because the hours kind of fluctuate.
Okay. All right, so right now we're just kind of behind on a payment plan and we needed to talk about it. And I just let me double check and see, well, how much are you paying right now?
I think the last time I spoke to you, you put it at $20 every 2 weeks.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So yeah, that ought to be fairly simple. However, let me look and see. Would you like, first of all, would it be easier to just pay once a month?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I could pay $50 a month, but I actually have like new tickets to add to it as well.
Oh, okay. Are they with us?
Yes.
Oh, I see. There it is. There's a speeding charge and fines and costs are $254. And that's a charge dating from September 27th. How are you pleading to that charge?
Guilty.
Okay. And you just want to add it to your payment plan?
Yeah, and it should have been a no driver's license as well.
Oh, there it is. Yes. Sorry, it's been a long morning.
It's a
The fines and costs are 181. And again, how are you pleading to that charge?
guilty.
I sure want you to get a license.
I'm working on it now.
Okay, we're gonna add the new cases. We're gonna go to $50 a month. And let's just take a break. Start you in 30 days, which is December 20th. That'll give the new income information time to get settled in. You'll know what's going on. And if it's not realistic to do this, then you need to come by and talk to a clerk. But let's trash the old payment plan that's not working. Let's give you a 30-day break and start $50 a month then.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can you sign for that? I need to get your signature today.
Yes, I can come in today.
Okay, what time should we look for you?
2 o'clock.
Okay, that's perfect. That'll give us time to catch up. We'll be caught up by then. So we will have that here at the front desk. Shred the old one and then just take that new copy and that'll be your new schedule, okay?
Okay, thank you so much for working with me.
Of course, as long as you show up, I will do my very best to work with you. What is your no, I don't have a question actually. We're good. Okay, we'll see you then.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. And believe it or not, Ms. Williams, we haven't forgotten you. We'll be with you shortly, okay? Let me Hi, Mr. Baeza.
Yes.
This is Judge Person. Hi there. Hi, this is the judge.
Yes.
Yeah, you were on the meeting and then like just didn't the connection or something. I don't know what happened, but I'd like to try to work on this today and get it resolved with you. Can we?
Yeah, we
I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, I do it this morning, at 9 in the morning, right?
Yeah. Well, we're.
Yeah,
Can you?
I watch it, but you know, my English is not good, so I talked with the lady,
Yeah.
and I not understand everything. I don't know. We need to go check. We need to pay my ticket, or
Yeah. Yeah, you're on a payment plan and it's behind.
Oh, okay.
Can you
So,
come?
I don't know how much is the payment.
How much is it? Just a moment.
Okay.
Baeza, Baeza. Mhm. What's his payment plan? Okay. Okay, because I have a warning letter set requesting. a payment plan. Sorry. Okay. Can you pay $50 today?
I'm working right now. What do you think? Tomorrow? That's fine.
Okay. Can you come by the
What time
court?
you open?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so $50.
Yes, tomorrow
Okay. Yes,
at 8 o'clock.
yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. We'll see you then.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Mr. Matson, I know that you were talking with Delvin Gims, and where are we?
Your Honor, Mr. Gims will be placed on deferral.
Okay.
That will be a 120-day period. He will take 8 hours of a theft course. And that'll be due by day 60. And then I believe he would like to discuss paying in installments with you.
How long is the theft course?
8 hours.
Okay. And I can do that. I have to talk with him about the payment information. I can't read it, but let me move you forward with Chelsea Williamson. Okay. Ms. Williamson, can you unmute?
Hello, Judge.
Hi. Okay, moving you over to that pretrial meeting. Mr. Gims, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, okay. You emailed, thank you, the information back, but the only thing I got was like, it's hard to, it's not, it's just came in like that.
Yeah,
So
some of it wouldn't shrink.
yeah, let me just talk to you about it, okay? Let's do the
Okay.
old fashioned thing. Can you raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear or affirm that the information you're providing is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. So you're working, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
LVR Property Management.
Okay. And what do you do there?
I'm like the supervisor assistant. I kind of do lawn service. I do a little maintenance. I'm kind of like one of those type of guys that does everything.
Guy Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say you have a known income?
Yes. I bring home 800 every 2 weeks.
Okay. What day of the week?
It's on the 1st and the 15th.
Okay, that's 5 months. And are you the only income to your home?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And do you have any children that are underage?
No, ma'am.
Is anyone disabled in the home?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And then do you have rent or a mortgage?
Yes, I pay rent, $750.
Okay. Are you the only person paying that?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you receive any food stamps or other assistance?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And do you pay an electric bill?
Do I pay what?
An electric bill?
Oh, yes, I do. It's somewhere around. But last month it was 2 something. So 200 for my lights, 100 roughly for the water.
Okay.
And I got my cell phone bill.
What's that?
That's about 150 with my hotspot and everything.
Okay.
Internet. Yeah. So, and I have a truck.
What
note.
else?
I have a truck note. So, yeah, I'm pretty strapped, but I
What's
make
the-
enough.
Is the truck note, what's that amount?
It's $447 a month.
Okay, I can look at what, I'm sorry, what other bills do you have?
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Okay, so food and gas.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can look at community service instead of payment. Because even though you might be able to kind of eke it out over to us, in a deferral, we have a really short window to collect that money. So if I do community, and you're gonna pay for a class.
Okay.
So that we can't avoid that. So it would be 15 hours of community service at a nonprofit in the community. I have a list, I have rules, and I have a timesheet to give you. And I need a signature on a form there and on your deferred. It'd be best if you could come by today to make signature. Can we do that?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Gonna have to be real.
Yeah, I can swing by. It'll be closer to 4:30. That's not too late.
Yeah, 4:30 is okay. 5 is not. And the hours are gonna be due December 20th.
December 20th. Okay. About a month.
Okay. I'll have everything at the window for you at 4:30.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
And then, we'll give you the class information, the deferral to sign. You'll sign for your community service hours, and we'll give you all the forms necessary. Get your hours turned in, get your course turned in, don't reoffend, and you'll have the case dismissed in March, around the 21st.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you today.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Matson. Where are we with Ms. Williams?
Your Honor, Ms. Williamson will also be placed on deferral.
Okay,
And the terms of that are the 120 days, 8 hours of an anger course. And she said that she can make payment in full within the first 30 days.
okay. And the anger course, 8 hours due in 60 days, is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so ma'am, I can email this to you and you can print it and sign it on back. Will that work for you?
Can I come to the courthouse and sign it
Absolutely. What time works best for you?
as soon as I get off of this meeting?
Okay, don't rush because we've got a stack to deal with. We will
Okay.
prioritize it. So by noon?
Noon will be fine.
Okay. It won't take long, and actually it's a little easier because we're going to be giving you quite a bit of information, how to find a class and all that stuff. So we'll have everything at the front for you, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Williamson.